Running a podcast takes a lot of time and money. So I want to take a moment to say thank you to the following homies who have donated to help keep this show free to air for everyone to enjoy. So to Audrey Armstrong, Izzy and Simone, Amita Chatterjee, John Coronios, and Karen von Bardeleben, thank you so much for donating to help keep this show going. Also, John and Karen, special hi to you guys. I got to meet both of you in person at the AHA conference in Brisbane in November. So it was really extra special to see your names pop up on the donation page. So if you have ever found value from this podcast, please consider donating at www.eugeniekruger.com and click the donate button at the top. Every donation of $10 or more gets you a shout out on a future episode. Thank you, homies. Hello, Eugenie here. I just want to take a moment to thank you, yes, you, for listening to my podcast. If, like me, you are passionate about helping others to incorporate homeopathy into their lives, then here are some ways you can help. If you have family or friends who have no idea what homeopathy is, please send them to my YouTube channel, Eugenie Kruger Homeopathy, to watch my 30-minute free homeopathy at home introduction course. If you enjoy this podcast, please rate it on Apple and Spotify, and please share it with your family and friends. And also come join me on Facebook and Instagram, where I share helpful information to help you along your homeopathy journey. Just search for Eugenie Kruger Homeopathy. And if you'd like to purchase one of our beautiful homeopathy kits or book a consultation with one of the homeopaths on my team, please visit www.eugeniekruger.com and click on the booking link. My team are all able to see clients online. Thanks for listening. Today, we speak with Dr. Yashika Arora Malhotra, a homeopathic doctor in India who is also an editor for Homeopathic Heritage, the oldest and the largest circulated international journal in homeopathy, which has been running since 1976. She has also edited several books on homeopathy, and she's been a speaker at various platforms and has presented on several webinars on homeopathy and written many articles for magazines and journals alike. She is a young, vibrant homeopath with a very bright future and incredible writing talent, who's working hard to share her passion for homeopathy with the world. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Welcome to the Homeopathy Hangout podcast, where we discuss all things homeopathy from around the world. And now, your host, Eugenie Kruger.
Hello, homies, and a very warm welcome to Homeopathy Hangout. Today, we get to speak with the lovely Dr. Yashika Arora Malhotra from India. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Very warm welcome to you. It's so lovely to have you on today. So I wonder, Dr. Yashika, can you tell us a little bit about how you first discovered homeopathy? What was your first introduction?
Thank you so much, ma'am. I am really grateful to Homeopathy Hangout as well as you for granting me this opportunity to participate with you and share my views on this podcast interview. For choosing me, actually, I would say. Thank you so much. You've asked me about homeopathy, like how I was introduced, or what is my story, or what I can say for homeopathy. There is not much different story. Like always, every homeopath and every other doctor, I had my ambition since my childhood that I want to become a doctor. Anyhow, I would be becoming a doctor. Since I was a kid, I used to be very ambitious whenever I used to meet any doctors or in my family or whatever. So that was my ambition. And when I was becoming a teen, so during that time, I had some issues with my health. So that time I took many of the treatments, but then that was not going well. So I opted for homeopathic treatment. I belong from a very local homeopath where I was living. So from a local homeopath, I opted for homeopathic medicine. And that was so wonderful. That gave so wonderful results. That time I was around 14, 15 years of age. So drastically I improved in the next 3-4 months. And then my belief for homeopathy was enhanced, I would say. After that, when I was growing up, I gave entrance exams for this MBBS, etc., BHMS. So that time also I had something in my mind that I'm going to opt for homeopathic or if whatever, MBBS or homeopathic only, neither the other forms of medicine. So only these two were the priority. But then as per I don't know, it was my destiny or whatever. So I opted for this college, then Homeopathic Medical College, I got this college in my counseling. So I opted for this, and then my journey started as a homeopath. I was very unaware about it. Like everybody, nobody is aware about what is actually homeopathy, how you have to study. Everybody used to say that this meaty golia that we are taking. Sweet pills, everybody say about this, like sweet pills, it is. So yeah, then we started. First year was very fun, and then we grew and we got knowledge, and then belief system was strong when we used to see the cases, cured cases, and coming into the OPD during our internship, etc. And since the internship only, I was very much pretty sure that yes, homeopathy is a great science and we can do wonders with the homeopathy. And it is just not just based on similia similibus curanta, that is the law of similia, but it is actually a wonderful science which is going to change the world sooner or later. Yes, it's going to do something great. So that time only my belief system became so strong. Then I opted for MD, and then the journey grew. So now it's like I'm totally passionate for homeopathy, and it is actually my life, I can say.
Feel the same. I do think there should be a warning sign when you start studying homeopathy, because it is all consuming. I think because it takes in so much of the natural world and human behavior, and it's just so intricate. It just doesn't end. Hey, so if you're somebody that is a lifelong learner, then this is definitely a great profession to be in. Now you take learning to the next level, because you are involved in so many journals and editing of books, and you've won awards for your writing. I don't know where you find the time to do all of this, but can you maybe tell us a little bit about homeopathy heritage and what it is and your involvement in that?
Yeah. So I'm right now one of the editors of Homeopathic Heritage. The Homeopathic Heritage is a peer-reviewed journal by BJ and Publisher. As it's going on, it's one of the oldest running journals, I would say, and one of the prestigious one also. When you talk about all over the world, or especially in India, it's one of the most prestigious journal, and it's running since 60s, 70s. So many years have passed, and many great homeopaths, I would say the great stalwarts of homeopathy, worked upon it since long, and have participated to give articles, etc. Right now also we have so many great reviewers and great number of people who are in our review committee, whether it's Dr. Isaac Golden, Dr. M.K. Sahani sir, Dr. Chaturbuja Nayak sir, Dr. R.K. Majanda sir. Many of the people, Dr. Shankar, every big homeopath is one of the contributors, and or had been a contributor for our heritage. So it's a peer-reviewed journal. Since 2013, it got peer-reviewed, and we are publishing the articles of homeopaths from all over the world. And it is following international standards. It follows the standards as per the guidelines that are mentioned by ICMGA, IGE, the ICMGE guidelines we follow. And yes, it's following international standards. So yeah, it has that good quality.
That's amazing. And well, what language is it usually published in?
Yeah, it's published in English only. We follow British English, British UK English.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And you, before the interview, you said that it's now available free of charge. How is that possible?
Yeah. So, ma'am, since the COVID pandemic, before we used to publish it in hard copies and we had subscribers, till now we have thousands of subscribers for our journal. But because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have made it online. Before we used to send it to our subscribers. Right now also we are doing the same. But yeah, we are planning, and we have already tried our level best to make it available since past 1 year to all the people, so that they can read, they can go through the standards, the articles, the book reviews, the interviews, or the old publications. Like we have a section of old archives where we publish a few of the articles by great stalwarts from British Homeopathic Journal, or we had old Hahnemannian gleanings, etc. So we publish in few of the issues, we publish one or the other article from the old books as well, so that we can old reference books, so that people get aware about the wonders of homeopathy. So yeah, so we are trying a little best to make it available to all over the
That's amazing. Now, I have to ask you, is there any sort of peer-reviewed articles coming out at the moment about COVID? Have you had any, is there anything in homeopathic heritage at the moment with COVID-related instances?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, exactly. So last year also, we had a whole month was dedicated to COVID-19. If you talk about the January issue, last year of January issue, January 2021. And I am like, whatever I try, I am not in every issue, I would say, over 12 months. But yes, out of 12 months, 8 to 9 months, journals were, at least one article was dedicated to COVID-19 by any of the great author who are already working upon the things. Like many of the doctors brought arsenic album as one of the medicine through their cases, or some of them brought Veratrum album. There was a very wonderful article. I don't remember the issue of the year issue. That was a research review article that was done by a very great, very good doctor from India. He took out Veratrum album while he was dealing with the cases of COVID-19. So yeah, we are trying our best to promote the knowledge of homeopathy especially for this pandemic, which has drastically affected the whole world. And if people can believe on homeopathy and through reading these such cases, so yes, it can be an add-on to this.
That's amazing. And I spoke with Dr. Sanjay earlier in the podcast in one of the earlier episodes, and I think he was saying that initially you weren't really allowed to treat COVID in India, but then there were actually so many cases that then the Minister of Ayush was saying that you are allowed to treat cases. So you must have thousands of cases under your belt by now.
Yeah, exactly. Now, after experiencing the results, so Ministry of Ayush, in fact, allowed us to treat. In fact, this time, the wave which came, the third wave, that was a very light wave, I would say, Omicron wave, which came this time. So every other doctor, every other person had, I think 90% of the patients which were coming to us had COVID, because, and 90% of the people must have been affected during this last few months, 2-3 months of 2 months of Omicron, because it was a very mild wave. People were already vaccinated. So they are they'll be having less symptoms because they've already produced the immunity. So I think this wave was a herd immunity, and we got to treat so many cases.
And were the remedies different? Did you find that through the different waves, the remedies changed, or did they stay mostly the same?
Every other wave, there was a new remedy. Like first it came arsenic album, then it came aspidosperma. I am not specific on one medicine. I usually treat as per the symptoms and as per the individual I'm getting. So I've got Brinia as well. I got Gelsemium as well. I got arsenic also. Arsenic showed, no doubt it showed so many wonderful results because it is a great folic rest. I got results from Pulsatilla as well. Many of the remedies Rustox also. Mm-hmm. And it's it depends on the individual which is coming to me with the cases. Canibio also, Canimure also, I will say. So it was as per the cough, as per the symptoms which came. So accordingly, it was treated. So I got different medicines all the time. But yeah, arsenic also showed great action. Aspido was also a great remedy during that time when the oxygen level of people was coming down in the second wave. That was a very dangerous wave.
Did you say aspidum? I haven't heard about remedy before.
Aspidosperma. Yeah. Yeah, aspidosperma. Sorry, I pronounced
No, that's fine. I love speaking with Indian homeopaths because in India, you have got some very specialized remedies that you tend to use a lot that we don't tend to use as much in the West. So I love learning from Indian homeopaths because you guys have always got some good stuff up your sleeve.
Aspidosperma, pothos, and blata, they are wonderful remedies for lungs, na? So we get good action as per the symptoms, if it's given, it will give wonderful results. Blata also wonderful results for oxygen, etc.
Amazing. Can you maybe, just while we're on the topic of the journal, can you tell us a little bit maybe about some of the journal articles that are in the homeopathic heritage regarding COVID? So what type of things are you seeing coming through? Is it mostly to do with, the types of remedies or what are you seeing?
Yeah, it is actually for the remedies as well as the research reviews. I would say personally, like not all articles are for the depending on the case study. They are from like doctors have sold 5, 6 cases or 10 cases. A case series also it is available, and not specifically subjective also is given, but then specifically people are giving their cases or the actual results which are shown through the reports, whether it is in the form of the CT reports or etc. But yes, there are many of the very good articles which are already available in the last few publications of our journal.
Now, you have an amazing writing talent. And when I was looking through your bio, I can't believe how many articles you've helped to write or you've edited. And what do you enjoy about writing? And have you got any favorite topics?
Oh, ma'am, yeah, so many favorite topics. I love writing on various kidney diseases. And my article has been published for CKD and bronchitis. There was a case, ADHD, especially the mental level cases, the mental cases which are coming to me, depression, etc. There are wonderful results homeopathy can show in the mental, in the emotional cases, in the mental diseases. So yeah, there are many of the cases which have written on related to mental illnesses. And then I've written many of the subjective articles also on like this bivalvia family. One of my article was published, and many of the articles, like it depends. I recently completed my MD last year. So my topic was circadian rhythm disorders. So it's a very different topic. Nobody, in fact, whenever I used to tell anybody about my topic, the people used to think it is about the cardiac disorders I am researching on. So no, it is on the biologically clock disorders. So I got very wonderful results in such cases also for the night workers who
Yeah.
so wonderfully homeopathy acts. There are so many good medicines which have.
Do you mind talking about some of those remedies? Because where I live in Perth, we have a lot of mines here and we have what we call FIFO workers. So that means fly in, fly out. So they often do shift work. They have to fly out to the mines. They're there for 2 weeks. Then they come back to be with their family. Then they fly out. And it really mucks up their circadian rhythm. So have you got any particular remedies that you found helpful?
Yeah, ma'am. So when I was researching, I did for the past 18 months, we researched on this topic for 18 months during my MD. So there are, commonly we know about Nux vomica, Coculus. There are these canifers. They are good remedies for the night workers or the shift workers who are working at the night and they are not able to take proper sleep, or they are facing sleep issues, depression issues, social withdrawal from the people, family issues, and sleep disturbances, especially they're like insomnia, etc., mood swings. So accordingly, I got different remedies also because some of the cases, the cause was different. There was separation also, like people because of this shift works and social withdrawal, the relationship issues, they got separated also. Natrum mure was also a wonderful remedy. Stapes Staggeria was also great. And the Calipos Natrum Force also worked great. And Coculus, Nux vomica, Canipos, Tenacardium. Wonderful results I got. CPA also. So they were
That's amazing.
We have great results. As per the symptoms, they were treated.
That's absolutely beautiful. I've used the remedy pineal gland as well and melatonin in potency. That's also been helpful for these clients. And of course, I had to reschedule our podcast because I had my appendix out last week. And it was very interesting chatting with the nurses. And
Perfectly. Yeah, I think perfectly fine right now.
But yeah, it was interesting speaking with the nurses that were on night shift and just how this affects them. So I love that you wrote about that because I think it's something that maybe not enough is spoken about because it can really be very debilitating.
When I was working upon it, I researched it on many of the PubMed, etc. Everywhere I've researched. So there was no such article. Like for allopathic, it is given. For allopathic, people have researched like what you can give medicines for the night workers. But when you talk about homeopathy, there's only one doctor who was working upon it. That too in 2013. Only and that was for only 6 or 8 months. So only that was the only old research I could got. So I chose that topic also because that was necessity actually. So that was the topic was chosen.
Well, I think you chose a great topic. That's wonderful. Now, you've also edited several books, including one from my favorite homeopath, Dr. Isaac Golden. Can you tell us about some of the books that you've been involved in?
Yeah, ma'am. So one of the books you already told by Dr. Isaac Golden. So I worked upon recently the most touching one from the core of my heart is this book. I've already brought it. This is the book of augmented textbook of homeopathic pharmacy, which is recently come out, the third edition of it by Dr. Banerjee, Dr. D.D. Banerjee. Every beginner homeopath have to study this book in his first year. So I have recently revised it through the support of the publishing house. I've recently revised the book. I've corrected all the things which were coming, and updated knowledge is being provided in the book. Though maybe some flaws must have remained because you're working all alone. So you still need more knowledge because we are growing daily. And so all things are welcomed if anybody faces any issue in the book. Plus, I worked upon the golden thread of medicine. That is a Materia Medica book by Dr. Dilip Soni. And one of the contributing authors of the book on textbook of obstetrics with homeopathic therapeutics by Dr. Trupti Bhamre. And one of the book I'm still working upon is a series of books which is coming by Dr. Ajit Kulkarni sir. That every other homeopath must have written his name. He is internationally famous. So he has already brought two of these volumes. That is Homeopathy Through Harmony and Totality. So sir has already mentioned, BJN publishers have already published these two books of him, 2 volumes. And I'm working on the volume 3 right now of him. So this book is very close to my heart. Because Dr. Ajit Kulkarni sir is also he's a gem, I would say. He's very close and he's a very sweet person like that. So I'm working along with him for this book. And many other books, like I've been associated with the editing part. Yeah. So Kaizen also, there is one book which is come for AIPGT entrance examination. I'm one of the contributing author. I'm one of the contributing editors. And there was a book which came by Dr. Surilvar Sarkar sir and Dr. Shruti Shah, one of his students, that was cracking the homeopathic codes of breast cancer. I was one of the editor of that book. And Vaccine Injured Children by Dr. Isaac again. And these are few of the books which I've worked on. Reverse Repertory of Mind have come recently by Dr. Mohammad Rafiq sir.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, I'm one of the editors of that book also. Recently it came around 2-3 months back maybe, by Dr. Rafiq sir and Dr. J.P. Shalini. Like they are 2 authors. So I'm one of the editors of that book as well.
I could never do your job because I would just sit there with the books all day long and not do anything else and just read. I think I would just cancel all my appointments and just read because we have so many incredible homeopathic books coming out at the moment, isn't it? It feels like there's an explosion of new information coming through. I mean, it's been going on for a little while now, but it's like I cannot keep up with all the new books that are coming out. It's quite mind-blowing.
Actually, ma'am, it's so fun as well as so knowledgeable when you read. Like one book I missed on pain by Dr. Mayuresh Mahajan sir. He is following H.M.A.I. This is one of the schools which are working on cases through mind, etc. So I got the opportunity to edit his book as well. So there were so many new things I got to know through that. Like how can the remedy be chosen? Different books give me different knowledge, and I read it passionately. I'm passionate for homeopathy. So that's why it's always fun and enjoying. Like when you are doing for the passion, you always enjoy the things.
Definitely. You can never get bored in this job ever. So I wonder, Dr. Yashika, do you want to share some maybe cases from your clinic with us? That's always fun to listen to.
Yeah. So that comes to the main part because a homeopath, a doctor, a physician is always known by the cases we cure actually. By the cases, how many cases we are dealing with or actually the result of doctor opposition is known by the number, equal to the patients cured. So there are wonderful cases which I usually discuss through my webinars or seminars which I'm taking. Recently, we discussed about the LMHI also. I've taken I presented one of the poster on a case of nocturnal analysis with a child of a 9-year-old girl. I've already shared it in my presentation in the LMHI as well as in the Mission 5000 of Homeopathy by Enlightenment Education. There was a series, webinar series. I was one of the speakers in that series. So I took that seminar in that, on that topic. And daily, we get so many cases of acute nature like cold cough and hair fall. Many of the cases which come to me are of PCOD, dysmenorrhea, discharge per vagina. So there are so many medicines which give wonderful results in such cases. PCOD, we have calcaria floor giving wonderful results, Fraxinus giving wonderful results, uterine fibroid cases. So there are lattices, etc., working wonderfully. So as per the symptoms, as per the individual, whatever I am getting, whatever knowledge I can grasp and from the patient, and accordingly I give the medicine. For fatty liver cases, indigestion problems, such are acute cases which are coming up to us, and chronic cases as well of neural problems, numbness in hands, carpal tunnel syndrome. A few of the cases are working and renal stones, etc. They may be acute also, or they may be chronic also coming to the nature. One of a wonderful case which is right now going on is my patient interstitial kidney disease. So he's suffering from that disease since past 6 years, 2016. And last night only, I have not taken that clip. So I'll be showing it on my phone only. So last night only, that patient, which is coming to me, she texted me, his sister texted me that this, I don't know if you can see this on this. Is it visible?
No, does it? Yeah.
So I'll just share the screenshot once. Yeah. So a big thanks to you. आपकी वजह से ईशान, patient name is ईशान. So the reports में बहुत अच्छा फर्क आया है. In Hindi only she has written. So she said, ये area हमारी expectation से बहुत ज़्यादा कम है. I said it is not much which is decreased, but there is very minor one number creatinine is decreased. So it's not good as per my medicines, per what I have prescription I've given. Because then she said, क्योंकि इतने सालों में सिर्फ point से कम होता है, point. पहली बार ऐसा result देखा 5 years में. So she mentioned this message yesterday only. So there are so many things which when the patient says such things to you, you feel so blessed that we are so thankful to God that He has given us that power to change somebody's life, to make somebody's life better. And people believe when they see cured cases, they don't have to go for surgery. Yeah. So one of my cases there was a cyst on her, in between the eyebrows, which came 3-4 years back. A patient came to me recently. She always comes to me for any other complaint also, because she's now having firm belief on homeopathy. So she had this after the parlor girl was making the eyebrows of her. So she had some blackhead removed, and then that started as a cyst. So that case, I gave her Sinecia 10M. Sinecia was given in low potency as well in this chart.
Silica.
Then I had to raise to the
Silica.
Sinecia Terra. Silica, yes, ma'am.
Okay, sure. I think we call it silica. Yeah.
So we call it Sinecia Terra. Yes, ma'am. Silica 10M was prescribed. First, it was given in low potency. Then we increased to high potency. Then that was removed actually. It went off wonderfully. So one of the picture which I wanted to show was a patient had infection over this area in between the fingers. He was working somewhere in the weightlifting. He had to lift so much weight. Because of that, he developed that allergy.
Like a ganglion?
No, not a ganglion. It was actually a fungal. You can say infection. You can say eczema.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, not a ganglion. Ganglion in my internship only, I got a wonderful result for this remedy, Beraita carb.
Oh, Bhargava carb for ganglion. Okay.
Benzoic acid also. Benzoic is also a wonderful remedy for ganglion.
Okay.
But then eczema was cured in only 15-20 days, around a month. You can maximum say graphitis was act so wonderfully.
Graphitis is wonderful. Wow. We're so lucky to do this job, hey?
There are different cases which come to us, and this is actually enjoying. Like when people come to you and say thanks, or that thanks is much enough. Like that gives you so blessing.
It really does.
We have a so good. We have a profession which gives us so many blessings. Actually,
absolutely. Now, I wonder how can our listeners get hold of you if they want to find out more about what you do, or if they want to book a consultation? How can they get hold of you?
Ma'am, right now I'm practicing in Delhi, in India. So if anybody wants to consult me or through online mode or through wherever they want to visit to me, if they are in India or in Delhi, so they can just ping me at 9717478833. This is my contact number, and you can put the code as +91, which is India's code.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my contact number. They can ping me. I'm practicing in Janakpuri, New Delhi.
And have you got a website that you want people to visit?
Not a website. They can contact me on my email. That is DRYASHIKA Arora, ARORA, Malhotra, MALHOTRA @gmail.com. They can contact me on my email ID as well.
Excellent.
And they can connect through online session. Or if anybody wants to get any knowledge also, if they want to ask some queries also, they're always welcome.
Excellent. And so we always just finish off with a little bit of fun at the end. And we'll ask you, what's your 3 favorite homeopathic remedies and why?
Okay. So this is a difficult question because favorite remedies is not allowed. Favorite remedy is not allowed in homeopathy as per the guidelines of our master Hannibal.
Oh,
yeah. So, but yes, every doctor has some of the favorite remedies. When nothing is acting, that remedy acts. So the topmost remedy is Nux vomica in my case.
I love it. I love Nux vomica too.
Nux vomica, whenever any case is like something is not clicking, or there is something which is missing, I give Nux vomica and I get wonderful results. Many of the cases I've got related to digestion, related to hairs, related to skin, related to dysmenorrhea. Many of the cases I get good results. Another remedy, 3 remedies you've asked, no? Another remedy I can say is Rustox. Rustox is a great remedy. If a case is like stuck somewhere, so in cases of joints, etc., skin also. When sulfur, sulfur is a great remedy for skin. But when sulfur is not acting wonderfully, I get results sometimes from Rustox.
Rustox, great.
Yeah, Rustox is a great remedy. And then for this children cases, I would say, whenever nothing is working out, I'm like no results in getting, I give Senna.
Senna, oh yes, definitely. Yeah, Senna hasn't been mentioned on the podcast before, so you're the first one. But yeah, that's a good one for kids.
We talked about children now, so that's why I just mentioned that for children, nothing is working. Chamomile is also not working. Pulsatilla is also not working. I give Senna. And it's like it shows wonderful results. And not in the case specifically to worms, any other issue also, Senna can cure.
Wow.
So yeah, these are the few remedies which...
That's always good to have those backups that you've got on hand. If everything else fails, then you know, okay, you can fall on these and they're probably going to work.
Yeah, so if you speak,
yeah. Oh, well, that's wonderful. It was so fun to have a chat with you today, Yashika. I'm definitely going to hop onto the Homeopathic Heritage website and go read through those articles there. It sounds like you could lose yourself in there with all that information. So thank you so much for helping to, put that together and getting the information out there to everyone. And thanks for your wonderful work.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I enjoyed it so much. Thank you. I am very glad to see you in fact and be in touch with you, and glad to be a part of this of your homeopathy hangout channel. So thank you so much. I hope we are going to see each other soon again in some other place or somewhere else, maybe.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
Great to connect to you. Thank you so much.